First question, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, as you look ahead to the Pacers tomorrow night, what are some of the challenges that they present and some of the things that your team's worked on today as you get set for them?
Yeah, I mean, we did offense and defense today, and I mean the biggest challenge for us right now is we've got to get our defensive game going. Our offense last night was more than good enough to win. We were low turnover. We shot a high percentage from 2. We shot a high percentage from 3. We won the free throw game. But again, like the quality of shots that they were able to create against our defense, it's just going to be hard to win. So it's going to start with the defense.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Steve, what has Khem Birch meant to this team over the last this season and over the last several years?
He just stands for everything that you want in a professional athlete. He's a serious-minded, committed player. He was a good player when we got here, and he's much improved now. Cares about the team, cares about his teammates, and he badly wants to play well and contribute. And I think he's handled, to me, of all the guys we've had on our roster, he's had in many ways, he's sacrificed the most. And when he got his chances to play, he's played very, very well. And I will tell you, he has the great respect of everybody, all of his teammates, all the coaches, everybody here around the organization.
Go ahead, Josh.
Steve, it's our understanding that the team will release Khem to give him an opportunity elsewhere. When that happens, if that happens, how do you cobble together 48 minutes at the power forward position? Do you have James played more minutes there from now on?
Yeah, I haven't, I can't speak obviously on the transaction. So, yeah, but I mean, there are things that can happen obviously. And that's, part of the things that as we go through this last month or so, and as changes occur, we're just going to have to be ready to, make adjustments on the fly.
Dan Savage.
Cliff, yesterday you spoke about that there are guys in this league that put up, 15 points per game that have, kind of hollow stats when it comes to winning, and other guys that put up 6 points per game and are guys that coaches would love. Does Khem fit and kind of exemplify that second category?
100%. I mean, I can't even tell you how many, coaches come and ask me about him. How is he to have a run? That's what, you say good things and they all say, that's what it looks like. He's the guy that when you sit and watch film and you're breaking down opponents, and you're studying, for instance, obviously one of the things you do when you watch opponents is you look at how can we get shots and who can we attack? So when you're able to lock in like that and you watch a guy like him play, he's going to be easy to respect. He defends 4s, he defends 5s. He's a great screener. So yeah, for sure, coaches constantly ask about him, and he's a winning player.
Josh Cohen, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Coach, how do you feel Cole and RJ did when they were on the floor together? And do you feel their skills complement each other well?
I mean, I thought that group had stretches, obviously, where it was really good, and then others where it was a struggle, right? But I think it's a good question, but I think that's what this last 21 games is for, Josh. I think a small sample size. Look, to be honest, 20 games is a small sample size. That's why I think the evaluating every game is important. But there's got to be a big picture evaluation also. Some of it is who you're playing against, for instance, the matchups, who they're on the floor with. And those are the things that we have to tinker with and try to find out as we go.
Josh Robbins.
Steve, what are some of the areas of development or at least the emphasis for Wendell and Mo over these last 21 games?
I think the big thing I talked to all the guys about today is we, everybody's got to know what we're doing. Everybody has to know what we're doing. And it was a problem last night. It was a problem in Denver. One of the hardest things I think defensively now for NBA players is you have to be able to go. You always had to do this, but you have to be able to go quickly from high pick and roll defense to flash defense to dribble handoff defense. And if you can't see things quickly and react, it's hard to be able to be out there, and we have some guys that they can do it some nights and they can't do it other nights. And part of that is for sure experience, like last night, our defense was awful. And yet Carter Williams' defense was like phenomenal. He's the star of the show because he combines both technique with understanding of who he's guarding with great instincts, and he has a natural motor, and I think those are the things that we have to do over and over for the rest of the year. The other one that's not okay, I don't care how old you are, and they know how I feel on this, you can't blow offensive sets. You can't come out of a timeout when we just spent 2 minutes, writing up a play and then not be able to run it when you're on the floor. Those are things that usually don't improve as guys get older. That just speaks to feel for the game, feel for organization, and giving possessions away. So, those are the types of things that we can get a lot better at, like, for tomorrow. And there's the things that are critical for players. Look, there's things, I just know this because I'm old, and I was in college for a long time. There are things you can watch a guy play when he's a freshman in high school and say he has a feel for the game. There's another guy you can see and watch and just say he's athletic or he's this or that, but you know what? He doesn't have a feel for the game. That stuff doesn't change that much. You can get guys to stay away from what they can't do and still be good players. But I think I've shared this with you guys before. We were talking about Turk one day, our first year here in Orlando, and one of us said something about Turk's decision making because, obviously for a guy his size, he was an incredible. He knew when to shoot, when to drive, when to pass, which is everything in basketball, right? And we were talking about, well, I wonder how he learned that. And, Stan said right away, listen, guys like Turkaloo, the first time he played in like 5th, 6th grade, he knew when to shoot, when to drive, and when to pass. And he's right. A lot of those things that are so critical to being a good player is a feel. And the other part of the decision-making thing is most of the guys that make good decisions on offense also are the best of decision makers on defense. And the guys that don't have the natural feel on the offensive end are usually the guys that overhelp or don't help enough on defense that break down your defense also.
All right, we have time for a couple more questions. We'll go with Christos Saltis, 14A Greece.
Hello, Coach. Hope you are doing well. You mentioned the defense before. Is the aggressiveness the key factor of tomorrow's game against the Pacers from your perspective? And how satisfied you are about the newcomers acclimated so far in the team?
I'm not pleased with the way we played last night. And, I don't think that any coach is prone to excuses, but, we played a tired game. We did, whether it's, the trip where really 4 out of the 5 games on the trip, we really had good effort. A lot of times that first game back off a long trip, guys struggle with, but we just really lacked energy and purpose out there, which I think will be a strength here going forward. So they knew it. We didn't spend a lot of time on it. We got right to execution today. But I've been really pleased with, today we had a real good practice. They had great attitude. There was good energy. And, they understand where we're at and that we're going to have to play well to win. And then for tomorrow night, the big thing I think we're all looking for, you ask the players too, I would think they'd say the same thing. We need to defend. We need to defend. our defense last night wasn't close to what it can be or what we're capable of. So we've got to come in tomorrow with more energy and a better defensive mindset.
We'll wrap things up with Josh Robbins.
Is Gary Harris on track to play tomorrow?
There's a good possibility, depending on how he feels, tomorrow, and then how he feels after shoot around.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time, Cliff.